Howdy there, partner! This is Sheriff Zero here to say, what an ill-timed accessory. I wanted to wear something on theme though because this video is about Six Flags theming. Something that's pretty rare for Six Flags to do is to bring it upon themselves to create an entirely themed section to one of their acquired parks. But in 1996, that is exactly what Six Flags would do if their Six Flags Great America Park in Gurnee, Illinois. And it all started with a little, huge sky ride called the Southern Cross. Southern Cross! Yeehaw! Sky rides. Instagrammers love them, and so do boring people. Like me. Delta Flyer, also known as Eagle's Flight, opened along with Marriott's Great America in Gurnee, Illinois in 1976. This sky ride traveled from Orleans Place to County Fair. The following year, Marriott's introduced a second, much larger sky ride, the Southern Cross. Southern Cross also had a station in Orleans Place, sort of near Loggers Run and Yankee Clipper. It would transport guests over Tidal Wave and through Turn of the Century, later Demon, and then, where are you going? Where did it go? Southern Cross was a weird, ambitious addition. It was a huge, tall sky ride that offered a fantastic aerial view of the park. This sky ride ascended upwards of around 125 feet. It wasn't just ambitious for its size, but also for its involvement in future aspirations. Big aspirations by Marriott's that did not come to fruition. The secondary out-of-frame Southern Cross station was located in the South End. The South End was nothing more than an undeveloped plot of land. When riders reached the South End, their cabins were dispatched back to Orleans Place. A sign posted at the South End stated that the Great Southwest would rise in 1979. This message was a teaser for the Great Southwest section planned for this plot of land. The Great Southwest section did not rise, as plans were entirely scrapped. After the 1982 season, the Southern Cross Skyride was removed and the South End station stood abandoned. In the mid-80s, Marriott's was displeased with their profits of their theme park division and sold all of their theme parks. Great America in Gurnee was bought by Six Flags. Rolling Thunder! Howdy, partner! In 1989, Six Flags would finally make use of the undeveloped plot of land previously planned for the Great South section. Six Flags added a new roller coaster to their Great America Park named Rolling Thunder. This coaster was a relocation of their Intamin and Giovanola bobsled coaster, Sarajevo Bobsled, from Six Flags Great Adventure in Jackson, New Jersey. The entrance to Rolling Thunder was in the park's hometown square section. 6 years later, Six Flags finally began expanding in Rolling Thunder's surrounding area, which once had big ambitions. It started with another roller coaster, which Six Flags built themselves for the first time ever. Viper, there's a snake in my hat! It's bootleg Disney, y'all. In 1995, Hometown Square received another roller coaster located directly next to Rolling Thunder. Six Flags added an in-house built wooden roller coaster with a cyclone layout named Viper. Despite being in the Hometown Square, Viper had a notably Western theme to it. Entering the station, you will notice that Viper features a prop cage, a little caged area filled with props. This concept is often found in queues at theme parks. Not amusement parks, theme parks. This one at Disneyland for Roger Rabbit's cartoon Spin pokes fun at the theming trope with a sign that reads Prop Cage. Sometimes these props paint a narrative. Sometimes they're props or mock props for a specific IP. In Viper's case, it's more of a random assortment of junk. People like to throw shade at Six Flags for taking the lazy route in Disney and Universal imitation, but I'll still take junk cages over nothing. Disney and Universal have prop cages, Six Flags has junk cages. Another instance of Viper junk theming is the assortment of stuff in the station's ceiling. I do enjoy the dilapidated look of the station overall. The station is themed after Colonel Peabody's Snake Oil Elixir Pharmaceutical Factory, an abandoned facility that has been overrun with snakes. The Snake Oil Elixir sign is a nice detail. In 1995, Viper and Rolling Thunder actually coexisted for one season. It's rare to find footage and photos of the two coasters side by side. Oh, there it is! Found it! It's also very strange to see the Hometown Square entrance for Viper. Rolling Thunder served riders for 6 years before closing after the 1995 season. After sitting in storage for 2 seasons, it was relocated to Six Flags Great Escape, where it still operates under the name Alpine Bobsled. With the introduction of Viper, Rolling Thunder's days were limited. The southwestern theming of Viper was the first sign of a revival of the Great Southwest plans 20 years later. Are Marriott's plans really put to rest? Southwest territory! Get along, little doggies! In 1996, Six Flags introduced the new Southwest Territory section at Six Flags Great America for the park's 20th anniversary as a sign of revived history. The Six Flags inception of Marriott's Great Southwest is a rather large area themed to a Wild West town. Most of the food offerings, rides, and even the restroom are tied to this theme. The long queue line for Viper was rerouted to the new section of the park with a much more fitting and intended entrance. Rolling Thunder was directly replaced by several assets of this new area. In Rolling Thunder's place were new paths, flat rides, and buildings. Southwest Territory shows further proof that Six Flags was still kinda popping off in the 90s during the Time Warner era. They were still kinda popping in the theming department. Quite sporadically, but still popping. Give or take.
I mean, that is so elaborately themed. Theming.
You might assume that Marriott's would have done a better job than Six Flags with the Southwest section, but Marriott's portrayal of American history had its fair share of uh-oh moments.
Mind the music and the stepping with the coils behind it.
Uh-oh.
Hey, my old friend Foghorn Leghorn.
I said that Yankee Doodle stuff sounds dandy, but what about something for the old South?
Oh no, 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 no.
Oh, always South was in the land of cotton. Old times they are not forgotten. Look away, look away, look away, Dixieland.
No, no, oh fuck, oh shit, oh fuck, oh shit. Southwest Territory is located just beyond Demon and the train track. I always felt like Demon fit right in with the Southwest Territory. The rock formations were added in 1979 during the re-theme of Turn of the Century. This rockwork fits right in with the rest of the western-based scenery. Opening attractions of Southwest Territory included Ricochet, a Huss ride swing around that was re-themed and relocated from the county fair section. River Rocker, a Zamperla swinging ship. Chubasco, the teacups made by Zamperla. This teacups ride is legendary for going off during Fright Fest and Holiday in the Park. Trailblazer, a Zamperla Joker. Wait, a bunch of Zamperla rides and a Cyclone? What is this, Luna Park? Let's talk about Trailblazer. Trailblazer was nuts. You sit in a big wide open wagon with stadium seating, and the lap bar that would come down was shared with other riders, and I don't remember there being a lot of room dividing the seats. The ride ascended pretty high actually, comparatively so to Demon's 90-foot drop. The ride's arm rotated the wagon up and down, filled with floater airtime. So in summary, this flat was amazing, but it was also a great way to die. In 2006, Trailblazer closed due to safety reasons. SMH. Trailblazer may be removed, but the building's facade is still standing. In my experience, there are two major thrill rides in the Southwest Territory that dominate the rest. The two big boys of the Wild Wild West. Giant Drop. Yahoo! In 1997, the second year of the Southwest Territory, the first of these big boys opened. A 227-foot tall Intamin drop tower. Giant Drop. This drop tower is themed around an ore excavator. You enter the queue into the Loco Diablo mine, owned and operated by Southwest Mining Company. In its first years of operation, it wasn't uncommon for wait times to be between 2 and 3 hours. Were drop towers really just that hype in the 90s? I like drop towers, but is this normal? And look at that, another junk cage.
I mean, that is so elaborately themed. Theming.
Six Flags held a wedding ceremony for numerous couples as a promotional gimmick for the ride's opening year. At the top of a tower before taking their descent, a pastor pronounced them man and wife. Afterwards, the couples exchanged vows in the southwestern amphitheater, which I'm not ready to talk about yet. Hold your goddamn horses, partner. It's time to talk about Raging Bull now, the other big boy of the Wild Wild West. Raging Bull. Giddy up. You think 227 feet was tall? Psh, psh, psh. Try 202. Wait. Raging Bull is a hypercoaster by Bolliger and Mabillard and has been the star attraction of Southwest Territory since its debut in 1999. Built directly next to fellow big boy Giant Drop, there was a new sheriff in town. Raging Bull opened to massive crowds and to this day remains a park favorite of guests. It is beloved by locals and was the final touch that this section of the park needed. Although, admittedly, the ride is a bit lackluster in the theming department. The 2 to 3 hours spent in line were pretty terrible in its first years of operation. They definitely did not leave much in the budget for the queue. But the climb to the top of a lift hill never gets old, and that first drop is what I'd consider the strongest airtime moment in the entire park. And don't forget about that amazing tunnel. Theming at Six Flags, a real wing dinger. I love seeing the small details that bring the theming of Southwest Territory together. Buildings are labeled as businesses to help provide the environment of an old western town. There's a grocery store. The arcade is sort of masked as a doctor's office. Wang's Laundry. Wang is a staple of this little town. I love Wang. Cattleman's Bank. Cool. And more things. The Spanish Missionary building actually looks really cool. Gotta love that annoying bell tower. The theming is incredibly immersive. You even have an armed Bugs Bunny statue. Nah, what's up, Glock? Oh shit, is that a Dippin' Dots cart? Coca-Cola, 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 Coca-Cola. Okay, so the theming isn't immersive. One Cokie Sody, please. Have you ever noticed how Six Flags has a lot of advertisements? Glad I got that out of my system. I just think Southwest Territory is neat, okay? Southwest Amphitheater. The Wild West is largely a myth and overly romanticized. Yeehaw! At the far end of the Southwest Territory near Demon's Corkscrews was an amphitheater, appropriately titled the Southwestern Amphitheater. This amphitheater was pre-existing for the Batman stunt show, but was given a re-theme for the new surrounding area. A new show titled the Warner Brothers Western Stunt Show was introduced to accompany the re-theme. The show was a crossover show featuring references and characters from different popular TV shows and movies. This included Blazing Saddles, Maverick, and F-Troop. In 2007, Six Flags introduced a new show called Operation Spy Girl for the amphitheater. This show was made in collaboration with Joel Surnow, who is the co-creator of the television show 24.
27, 26, 25, 24, 24, 24. Launch aborted.
This show involved an absolutely massive prop volcano, and lots of gymnastics, next to no stunts, and it wasn't a Western show. It was a spy show with ninjas and a caveman. This show was not well received by guests at all and ended only after one season, and sadly it was the last production to be held at this particular stage. The Southwest Amphitheater was demolished in 2015 to provide space for Battle of Metropolis, the Justice League Dark Ride. With this change, Southwest Territory shrunk just slightly in size beyond this space. The Southwest Territory now! I'm all out of Western phrases! Not unlike the theming and quality petering out with Spy Girl, the Crazy Buffalo Saloon restaurant had its own decline. Initially opening as a full-service dine-in restaurant, it eventually switched to counter service only. It's unknown why this change came to be, but it is speculated to be due to guests skipping out on the bill, but it is more likely a result of budget-cutting efforts. Six Flags had a lot of debt building up at this point. In 2013, the Crazy Buffalo Saloon was changed to a barbecue sports bar, JB's Barbecue and Sports Bar. And the reviews are in.
Mamma mia!
They kept the little jail cell inside though. For the most part, Six Flags hasn't done much to change the Southwest Territory. The abandoned state of Trailblazers Queue is a bit strange with some of the ride's parts still in sight, but Six Flags never really went above and beyond with the theming here. The section of the park has been mostly frozen in time, with a lot of its attractions and rides being from the 90s. I hope that Six Flags keeps the Southwest Territory for decades to come. They still hold Western-themed shows in the Midway, so hopefully the Western theme is here to stay. If any more of the flat rides happen to be removed, I hope that they are replaced with similarly themed flat rides, and not like cheaply themed ones. I hope that there's not just like a giant Discovery that is named something sort of loosely Western, but looks off the shelf giant Discovery. It needs to look the part. I want it to look the part. And Southwest Territory is nice as it is, but it's telling that it's worse off than it was when it started. An amphitheater, flat ride, and full-service restaurant down, there is nothing to show for it. And although Southwest Territory might not seem like much in the grand scheme of theme parks, it holds a special place in my heart. And now that our time here is done, I'm afraid I have to say, this town ain't big enough for the two of us. I'll just be on my way then. Subscribe for more things theme parks and coasters, like the video for YouTube reasons, and drop a comment. Let's talk Southwest Territory things. I like reading your comments about your experiences at the park, especially ones that predate mine. Have you ridden Rolling Thunder or the Southern Cross? Have you been to the South End Station, and was that weird? This has been 0 credits remaining, riding off into the sunset on the old dusty trail. I'm still out of old Western phrases. Bye.